the all-new Utkarsh Asthana's Hub app today. Subscribe to Utkarsh Hub so as you can get the latest on technology, gaming and robotics, and that too we give you before anyone else could give it to you. So please do subscribe, and yes, that also gives me inspiration to make more amazing and entertaining videos for you guys. So please don't forget to do this, and yes, please do even like and share this video with your friends so that they can even get to know about all these amazing techie topics. And yes, please do even click on the notification bell icon near the subscribe button so as you can get the latest notifications whenever I upload new video on Utkarsh Asthana's Hub, a place of wonders. So yes, without further ado, let's just dive into this video as I said before even, but this time we truly just dive into this amazing journey of storage devices. Yes, let's just do this. So get ready with your popcorns, take a back seat and enjoy this informative Utkarshian video. Beginning with, first we come to the memory bricks. As I have even said earlier, even in the 1960s, in the 1965, in that 5 years period, came the big, huge and gigantic memory blocks or memory bricks. So these memory blocks or memory bricks were actually very huge, and these were special kind of storage devices which could just store only 1 to 2 MB of data, but then also they were so much big. Then in the 1965 came the mini or miniature memory blocks for memory bricks. So these were like a bit small in size, so they were called as mini, as the name suggests. And yes, they could even store a bit more data, like they could store up to 15 to 25 MBs, and that's still, but then also that much size and this much store data they could just store this. In today's time, it's really awkward. Yes, not a very big thing, very poor thing, but at that time it was just a great achievement. And now we come to 1970s. In the 1970s came the punch devices. The punch memory devices, or the PMDs, were special kind of devices where you could where you punched and feeded memory data in the memory, actually sorry, not memory in the data in the memory. So PMDs were a bit smaller than the mini memory bricks or memory blocks, and yes, the PMDs were very fragile. They could easily break, and that was a cons or negative point about these PMDs or punch memory devices, because here it was a tape, I kind of like a cassette. If you have seen, I don't know if you have seen, you can Google it. Cassettes were like, there's a tape which is reeled around 2 rollers attached in a casing. Beginning, as I have even said before, and then it's tied by screws actually, and yes, so in this way is made a cassette. So yes, in the cassette now that reel can very easily break, so that's why it's very fragile. So the punch media devices or PMDs were even like that only. They could even break very easily. So they were super fragile, not even fragile, super fragile. And so that was a negative point about that, as I have even said before. Okay, so now we move on to the 1975 period. So 1975, in that historic year, because it's really historic part, because the memory devices which came that year were really amazing. Now they were the more advanced floppy disks. So the floppy disks are something like a rectangular disk in which even it's the same, that tape system only, but yes, this time the tape was made with a better material, and so it could not just break that much easy, so it was not super fragile or even fragile. It was a good kind of thing. But yes, if you intentionally try to break it, then of course it will break, but accidentally it won't ever. If it falls a bit like normally, even it just goes off your hand, and so it will not break like that easily. So yes, these were actually not are, because now floppy disks are even very old things only. So these floppy disks were rectangular in shape, as I even said before, and yes, they could store a good amount of data. So yes, I just forgot to tell you about the storage capacity of the Pmds. The Pmds could store up to 1 GB, and that's super cool. Now these floppy disks could even store a bit more. They could store up to 1 GB to 1.5 GB, so that was good improvement. And yes, meaning 1 GB is equals to 1000 MB. So 1.5 GB is equals to 1 GB full 1000 MB and 500 MB more, so 1500 MB. You can say it like that, and MBs are the megabytes. So yes, after that, even in the 1960s, in the 1965, in that 5 years period, came the big, huge and gigantic memory blocks or memory bricks. So these memory blocks or memory bricks were actually very huge, and these were special kind of storage devices which could just store only 1 to 2 MB of data, but then also they were so much big. Then in the 1965 came the mini or miniature memory blocks or memory bricks. So these were like a bit small in size, so they were called as mini, as the name suggests. And yes, they could even store a bit more data, like they could store up to 15 to 25 MBs, and that's cool. But then also that much size and this much store data, they could just store this. In today's time, it's really awkward. Yes, not a very big thing, very poor thing. But at that time, it was just a great achievement. And now we come to 1970s. In the 1970s came the punch devices. The punch memory devices, or the PMDs, were special kind of devices where you could where you punched and feeded memory data in the memory. Actually, sorry, not memory in the data in the memory. So PMDs were a bit smaller than the mini memory bricks or memory blocks, and yes, the PMDs were very fragile. They could easily break, and that was a cons or negative point about these PMDs or punch memory devices, because here it was a tape, I kind of like a cassette. If you have seen, I don't know if you have seen, you can Google it. Cassettes were like, there's a tape which is reeled around 2 rollers attached in a casing in the 1985 period. So yes, I want to say that these floppy disks came in the 1980s period, and so now in the 1985. So as you see, these are the 5 years difference. So now in the 5 years after 1980, when the floppy disk came or launched in 1985, at that year came the records. So now records were actually a lot big in size, but yes, they were very thin, super thin. So you can say a record was like 5, if you put 5 CDs, how much space they will occupy. One record could just easily occupy that much space. But then also the CDs could store up to 800 to 700 MBs of data, or 80 minutes music, or you could say 16 to 32 GBs of data. Whereas these records could just store up to 5 GBs maximum. And there were 2 kinds of records, LP or long play, and SPs or short plays. So records were mainly used for recording music, because they could just record audio, any kind of audio. So they could even record podcasts and other things like that, audio films and something like that, but not any video. Yes, not video, because they were not a media disk or media device, media storage device or MSD. No, they weren't. So till now, at this time, MSDs had not come. Or MSDs are the media storage devices, as I even told you before. So MSDs have not yet come. So now after this, in the 1990s, so yes, in the 1990s came the amazing and wondertaining, truly entertaining. These were the first media storage devices, or MSDs, first MSDs. So these were actually the DVDs and CDs. So yes, in the 1990s came the amazing CDs and DVDs. So they were really amazing things, and a good kind of improvement in the storage technology they were. And yes, so these media storage devices, or MSDs, meaning these compactors and digital video discs or DVDs, CDs and DVDs, they could store up to 80 minutes of music, as I've even said before, and yes, up to 16 to 32 GB of data. That too I have said even before. Yes, they could store up to that much of audio or video. So they were media storage devices in true sense. And so then after that, in 2000, now it is now for 10 years nothing was done. So now just in 2000, because now they were developing something real amazing. So in 2000 came the Blu-ray discs, or the BDs. Blu-ray discs or BDs are something really amazing. They look like CDs and DVDs only, but Blu-ray discs are very good for storing video content. So most of the movies which you get in the market in that CD shops and DVD shops, which are stored in that disc, kind of plastic disc, are not stored in CDs or DVDs, but actually they are stored in these BDs or Blu-ray discs. So these are just a new era of plastic discs or MSDs, but yes, they are now in present time, not in anything new. But yes, at that time in 2000s, it was really amazing thing, which just came like a boom, like a blast, like a blow after full 10 years, after a decade. So yes, BDs were very good thing and a huge success for storing movies, because the quality was even there and the quantity was even there. Both things, quality and quantity, both were there in BDs, and so they were super successful. Then in the 2005, 5 years, once again 5-year period has come. So once again after 5 years, in 2005 came the amazing MSDs. Now these were the third kind of MSDs, third era of MSDs, and these were the, you can't even think of them. They were HDDs, or the hard disk drives. So the HDDs or hard disk drives were, as I said before even, were launched in 2005, 5 years after 2000, when in year 2000 the amazing Blu-ray discs or BDs came. So yes, I just wanted to tell you that I just forgot that thing, that BDs or Blu-ray discs were a joint initiative by 7 tech magnet companies or leading tech companies. So these were the Samsung, Lenovo, then Oppo, then Apple, Google, and Xiaomi, and not to forget HTC. The HTC is the company which makes those amazing VR glasses. So yes, now that's amazing that 5 years only after 2000, when BDs were launched, in 2005, as I've even said before, the HDDs or hard disk drives were launched. So these hard disk drives or HDDs were actually a bit smaller than the BDs or Blu-ray disc drives, but not at all thin, because they're not at all thinner than those BDs. They are actually thick only. So inside their thickness 5 to 6 BDs can easily be stored or fitted. So yes, it's like that only. So yes, then these HDDs, their storage capacity is very good. At that time it was 1000 GB or 1 TB at the higher side, and 500 GBs or 250 GBs at the lower side. 500 GB at middle side, 1000 GBs or 1 TB at the higher side, and the 250 GBs at the lower side. I have said this once again so as you don't get confused about this. Okay, so moving on further, in the 2010 came the amazing and wondertaining 4th generation or 4th era of the media storage devices or MSDs, because these, what do you call them? Yes, these HDDs, I just forgot about that. Yes, so these HDDs were the 3rd generation, 3rd era of the media storage devices, and now the 4th era or 4th generation of the media storage devices were the amazing, wondertaining and super cool pen drives. Now pen drives could not store as much data as these HDDs or hard disk drives, but could store easily up to 500 GBs, 250 GBs, 1000 GB, 1 TB or even 2 TBs in modern times today. So they can't store any amount of this much data, not at all. But yes, their higher limit is 32 GB and their lower limit is 16 GB. But then also, comparing to their sizes, this is super cool because their size is even smaller than a car key, which here we see. So yes, and you could just put it inside a locket, like a locket you can tie it around your neck, and you can carry these amazing 4th generation of MSDs anywhere. And these are they use USB type A and USB type B and USB type C ports. So at that time and even today, most of the devices which were coming and are coming even today are all USB port enabled only. So this is very useful thing when we have an MSD 4th generation device which can easily fit inside them. So it's really amazing. So this 4th generation of media storage devices, hats off to it, though it's really amazing. So yes, then in 2015, 5 years after this, in 2015 came the flash drives. Now flash drives, you might be thinking, what are these things? These flash drives are nothing else but improved or redesigned pen drives only. Now here they can store up to 32 GBs of data only. But yes, their data reveal and data storage speed is much faster than the pen drives, because with the same memory they are, as I've said before even, but they can store up to the storage is same. Don't get confused there. But yes, as I've said, this data retrieval or revealing and data storage capacity is a lot faster than the pen drives. So that's a plus point here in the flash drives. And so yes, it was not a very big thing. But then just after this, in 2016, 2017, 2018, these years went by, and in 2019 came the solid state drive or SSD. So now it came 4 years after, not 5, but 4 years after the first one, which is the flash drive, which came in 2015. So in 2019 came the SSDs or solid state drives. The first companies which were there to launch the SSDs was Samsung, Sony and Google. So they launched their SSDs, and yes, SSDs were real amazing. So yeah, it was actually. And so whatever, when they were launched, gaming maniacs or people who like gaming a lot or want to buy all that gaming stuff, they just bought the stuff which was enabled with SSD storage, because they were very fast, even super fast. Like they were even faster than the flash drives in the data retrieval and data storage technology. So that's why they were preferred even over the flash drives. So Then after that, SSDs in 2021, which is the year which is going on right now. In 2021 came the amazing and wondertaining storage devices. So now these are the present memory storage devices. Yes, I know if you guys might when watch this video in the future, you will say that this is old. So yes, then I will launch a new part of evolutionary journey of storage devices. So yes, for right now in 2021 is launched the amazing and wondertaining storage devices. So these are now, what can be they? Yes, they are the memory cards. So now memory cards are very cool memory storage devices. They are very super thin, even thinner than the PDs, DVDs and CDs, because these are memory cards. They are just in thickness equivalent to the debit or credit cards. Yes, their size is big and they can easily can be destroyed or easily can break. Yes, that's true, because like a debit and credit card holder, and they can easily be broken, as I've said before, even from a middle point. So it's very easy for doing that. But then also these are amazing just because they can just easily, you can swipe them on the back side of your mobile phone, and your phone will recognize the memory card, and yes, it can easily get stuck up to the phone, and you can just carry it anywhere. And yes, but if there are pros, then there are always cons of any device. So here for this one, even the negative point is, or con is, that it can be only and only used with the Apple devices, with the iOS platforms, and that too with the iOS 10 and above platforms, and not anything less than that. Yes, so that's a sad thing, that Apple only have made the technology, but we will want this technology even working for the Windows and the Android and the Ubuntu platform, so as anyone can use it. Yes, mainly for Android. So yes, this is the brand new iPhone 12, a thing which comes with it, the Apple memory card. So yes, in the brand new iPhone 12, 12 Pro and 12 Pro Mini and 12 Plus, you will see this amazing and wondertaining and super cool media storage device, which is the seventh of the media storage devices, or MSDs, 7th generation actually, or 7th era. So this is a brand new era of media storage devices. And so yes guys, today it was just much only for today. Yes, we will meet you soon next time in some another amazing Utkarshian video. And yes, as I've said even before, after this, whenever a new media storage device comes, and yes, 2 to 3 media storage devices come, I will make another evolutionary journey of storage devices part. But this one is evolutionary journey of storage devices from the 1960s to the 2021. Yes, but whenever a new device comes, a new evolutionary journey of storage devices, UTKARSH ASTHANA'S Selective part will even come. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If really, then as I've said before even, please do click on like, subscribe to our channel, Utkarshian ASTHANA'S HUB, and share this video with your friends, and also even click on the notification bell icon near the subscribe button so that you can get the latest notification whenever I upload a new video on Utkarshian ASTHANA'S HUB. So yes, please stay happy, and yes, please stay tuned with the Entertainment Hub or Utkarshian ASTHANA'S HUB. So, bye bye. This is me, Utkarshian ASTHANA, signing off for the day.